I'm making the switch to a year-long coaching program, and I just want to share my story as I go to hold myself accountable. But I think maybe it also helps some people who are maybe trying to do the same things, and maybe me providing some insights as to the decisions that I make and the things that I include and why I do that might help some people. My name is Ryan Robillard. I am a PGA of Canada teaching professional from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I'm from a town, Windsor's, let's say 250,000 people, so by no means a big city. But in southwestern Ontario, we have real long golf seasons. And I'll be perfectly honest, I've been running a single lesson model, a lesson by lesson, a pay as you go, hey, what's the biggest package you sell that'll net down the price to make it as cheap as possible? And after bouncing back and forth, and to be honest, kind of being afraid to make a change, I've come to the realization that the way that I'm teaching lessons is not maximizing a player's ability. A more holistic approach is required, and I know a lot of people say that they have holistic coaching or that they run a holistic program, and I feel that I've said the same things as well. But the truth is that I haven't been. I have a lot of ideas in my head, and I think sometimes that's where they get stuck. And I do believe that I give good lessons, and I do believe that players are happy with the lessons I provide. I'm oversubscribed on lessons currently, so I think that there's some validation that I do know what I'm doing. But my limitation is that I just offer a one-off lesson, and I hurry up and go to the next person. I don't see my athletes play as much as I should, and I don't offer them the other things that that are involved with shooting really low scores. Club fitting, fitness, medical, mental, nutrition, supervised practice, those different things. So that's why I'm committing to making this change. So what I hope to describe in this first video is what my plan is. My plan is to go to a yearly model where I offer 4 programs: an adult program, a collegiate program, a junior performance, so let's say U19, and then a junior development, which is U15, so 4 programs. That currently covers the range that I'm working with currently. And the first thing that I did was try to find out, okay, how many hours do I actually have available to teach? So I also work with another company called Super Speed Golf, and I oversee their sales in Canada. So I have other commitments. I have a full-time job, and then I teach on top of that. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've reverse engineered, kind of going through month by month, how many hours of coaching I have available in those months. And then as a result, how many hours I have available throughout the year. So that was the first thing that I figured out. What's that big number? Let's say between 600 to 800 hours. I have a more precise number that I'm working on. So I have that number. So now next thing I've done is I've gone through and I've broken down what I want to offer. And in terms of my time, a number that I'm still working towards finalizing is I want to get about 20 hours of individual one-on-one time with players. And I'm going to use my under 19 junior program as reference because I think that's the one that I'm most excited about. So each player is going to get 20 hours of one-on-one lesson time with me. And then we are going to have 10 2-hour practice sessions, supervised practice, which will touch on different parts of the game. We'll go on course, we'll chip, we'll putt, we'll talk about how to practice. But we're going to have 10 of those sessions, so there's another 20 hours. So combining those two, I've said, okay, with this many players, this is how many hours, that they're going to get. I did the same thing with collegiate. I did the same thing with adult. I did the same thing with U15. So now I know, I'm going to use the number 700. I have 700 total hours that I want to coach in 2023. That includes time on the road, time at tournaments, all that stuff, all in 700 hours. And now I know that each program per person is going to take up X number of hours. So I know how many total hours that I have. So to timestamp this, it's the middle of September, and I've gone through and I've worked through how many hours I can have, and based on my current client list, how many people I can have in each bucket. So my goal is that in the next couple of weeks to reach out to all of my current clients and essentially say, here's what I'm looking to do in 2023. I've spoken to a lot of them. Are you in or you're out? As I continue to record this, I'll dive into more deeper detail on how I broke down each program, how many people I'm letting in. I'll share all of that stuff. But what I want to do for the next part of this video is tell you the team I'm looking to assemble. As I mentioned earlier, I believe that I'm the expert on the golf side, golf swing and golf coaching. But I know that too many times I tell my players, hey, you should look at getting a trainer. Hey, we should go see someone to help with sports performance or the mental side. And they'll usually tell their parents, or they'll go home and do a little bit of research, but very rarely do they get it done. And they don't know who to go to. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going through and I'm talking to, in my local area, a couple different people in the physical space, medical, chiro, etc., physiotherapy, personal training. I've got a huge preference if they're TPI certified. And I'm essentially interviewing if they would be a fit for what I'm looking to do. I'm telling them and saying, look, I might have 20, 30, 40 people that want to come to you, and I'm getting from them a price on 4 sessions. So included in my program is going to have 4 sessions, which, let's say at a minimum, I hope they're prepaying for it so that they're going to go quarterly and that they're going to see this trainer. And I hope that if they get a good experience or a good vibe, they'll continue to see them more. But to cap how much the program costs, I feel that 4 sessions gets them an assessment, and the trainer will give them a plan, and then they have 3 subsequent visits to continue to work through what they're working on. So that's physical. Next one is club fitting. It's very rare that a player has any idea what their lofts or lies are on their clubs. And we know, especially here, we spend plenty of time hitting outdoors. We also spend plenty of time hitting indoors. So twice a year, my players are going to get their lofts and lie checked. And if they've had their clubs fit and they have a spec sheet, we're going to work off of that spec sheet to make sure that their clubs are where they should be. Because too often I see players that they have 1 or 2 clubs that they say they don't hit the way that they want. And then we look back and we realize that their lies are off or something silly like that. So that's equipment. Sports performance for my 2 junior programs and my collegiate program. I'm sourcing out a sports psychologist and I'm leaving it in their hands because they're the expert to give me some feedback on what a program would be for training both individually with the athlete, but also as a group environment. For nutrition, I know a lot of people feel that certain things can be Googled, but I do know that sometimes people get lazy, so I'm sourcing out a nutritionist to have a one-on-one session with everyone that's part of the group, and then also a group session as well. So it sounds like a lot, but I feel for me, we have 12 months, we have lots of time, and if we break this all out perfectly or in a structured manner, a player that's joining my program is going to get their golf swing looked after, their equipment looked after, their mind looked after, their nutrition looked after, and their body looked after. And that's what I'm hoping to accomplish. I'm very serious and intent on offering, or my intention, I should say, is to offer the most holistic program, and I know what I'm good at. So I'm now sourcing out other people in other fields, and I'm going to tell you how those conversations go and what we talk about and the things that we check off and the prices that they are. I plan on disclosing everything in hopes that it might motivate someone else to make this change. We all hear that high-level players in colleges have teams. I'm trying to bring that down to my local area to offer the most advanced, inclusive, holistic approach to golf performance to help people shoot lower scores. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in following along on the journey, hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications. My intention is I'm going to share as much as I can, so hopefully other professionals maybe might take something that they want to improve in their program. I might have someone that's looking at getting out because they're tired of one-on-one lessons and maybe want to make the change to a group model, or maybe just motivate someone to get into the coaching field and maybe help some golfers get better. That's all I got for now. We'll talk soon. Have a great day.